Hello, hello, most beautiful stars. Hello, hello. I am Courtney, host of Stars of the Morning Light, and this is June. What day is it? Oh, it's Father's Day, June 21st. Happy Father's Day, everybody. I hope all is well with you. This message is a Hey You message, and I really wanted to record it maybe 3, 4, 5 days ago, but didn't have the time, so I'm here live with you now. And I have to tell you all, it's interesting how I planned on bringing up unity in this message. And I have been obsessed, as I'm sure many have, watching all of the different foreigners come to America, the United States, and experience us for the World Cup and enjoy each other. Everyone's enjoying each other. And I am the type of person that when someone is excited, I'm going to be excited. Let's all be excited. Let's all have a good time, right? I love it, love it, love it. And I love that they're learning that we are definitely not any of the stereotypes or the fears that they have heard about us. We are definitely not our government, right? We're a whole lot of things. With that being said, it has been, I mean, I will tear up watching all of these different humans, all the lovely humans, nationalities, cultures coming together, having a good time, just loving life. It's been so refreshing and so lovely to witness and so lovely to see all sorts of stuff through my feed. And with that being said, I'm also now we're a few days in, right? We're about a week or 2 in. I'm not really sure. Um, we're watching people post about how this is healing for the world. This is healing the world, us coming together, this World Cup. It's also teaching us that we don't hate each other. We do not hate each other. Humans, it is so much more natural for us to come together than it is to be at war with one another. That is natural. That is organic. That is humans. That is what we do. And it could be in times of great celebration. It could be in times of tragedy. It could be in times of uh, solidarity of whatever may be going on. I see that seeker came in. Good to see you, my dear. Um, And I have really been rejoicing, and it's been very heartfelt watching this stuff. And the fact that part of this message was going to be about unity, anyways, um, I'm thinking I don't have to go much into it. Seek out all these different videos. I mean, how I finally got to learn why Mexico and Korea was like really they were getting along so well, regardless of who was winning or not. That had to do with a prior game that happened some other time. And it's so wonderful to see Mexico and Korea. The Scots taking over Boston. I loved it. I love it. And I can hear all the negative Nancy's out there right now going, yeah, and they messed up our streets. We couldn't driving and traffic, meaning traffic, right? Whatever. We're having fun. The reason I was going to bring up unity, though, is because of the time we're living in. This message has a little bit to do with I had done a 2026, review. I went over what the Akashic had said about 2026. I talked about my own predictions. I did that last week. This was going to be kind of like a middle filler for everyone. And then Wednesday night, I believe I'm live at 9 around the same time to talk about the Great Crack. I finally am getting to it, folks. The Great Crack. It's been like 3 years that I have been I've been meaning to talk to you about it, but the time is definitely now. The Great Crack is not happening right now, but I do believe, and this is one of the unfortunate aspects, is that while all this great celebration and life and loving life and appreciation for others and just and appreciation for each nation, each country, that's that's wonderful. I mean, that's just wonderful to celebrate culture, celebrate humanity, right? Um, I do believe by the end of the month, towards the beginning of the month, somewhere in the mix, towards the end of this week into, from let's say this Thursday, June 25th through July 5th. Okay. There is going to be some kind of, Earth, the earth will show us, right? Her mighty, mighty powers. Um, and it's not just me. I ended up looking into things because I injured myself, which by injuring myself gave me a chance to stop, stop doing all the physical stuff I was doing. And I started looking into things. And there is a channel on here. Um, his name is, I believe, Stephen Burns, and he watches what the earth is doing, what the sun is doing, what all the planets are doing, all of it. He breaks down all the science of what's going on. And right now, he's telling people there is stuff going on that we've never seen before. Going on underneath the earth plates, all the lines that we talk about, the volcanoes, what they're doing. So I had told the patrons, I don't know, a Sunday or two ago, that I do believe California, so like from the southern part of California, there's going to be earthquakes that ride right up through California. I did tell the patrons that on the back end of that, there is a possibility of a volcano going off. I do believe that there's ones in New Mexico that are building that way to do that, and that is from all the science that Mr. Burns, right? I believe that's his channel, Stephen Burns. So please check him out. And on top of what the planets are going to be doing towards the end of this week, what the moon will be doing, the tides right now, folks. Mm, tides are unbelievably high when they should not be. Um, all sorts of stuff is and what the sun is doing. He also watches the sun, beloved. So we are at a time that I've talked about for years, the flippy floppy of the poles. I try to not be too stern or, I don't know, end times type of feel. That's not me at all. And I don't think it's that way, anyways. But when people talk about these things, they tend to talk about it in doom and gloom, doomsday type of material. And that's not me, not at all. I think this is what's beautiful about the unity aspect that we are witnessing right now with this World Cup. Like I said, it is easy and great for us to get together in celebration and a good times and a wonderful party. We can do that. But we tend to think, and so a lot of this video is about how you think, how we think. We tend to think that when tragedy strikes, "Oh, well, I can't really help." Or we tend to think like, "Oh, well, the help will just come." Or, somebody else will take care of that. So we have great unity when it's a good time. Do we have that same kind of energy, very comparable energy, for if something drastic were to happen? To go help people, to dig through the rubble, to maybe have to build entirely new bridges like I've been talking about since January. Do we have that unity within us? And I think we do. I really truly think we do. And I see that Chloe came in. Good to see you, my dear. Truly, truly, I think we do. And we witnessed it when devastation happened in North Carolina with the storms that wiped out, you know, parts like parts of mountain, parts of the mountain just kind of washed away. Whole cities were gone. People showing up to help there. Maybe not so much the government, but I'm not talking about the government, folks. This is we are headed into a time. See, that's why I think this is so amazing that we're watching this stuff with the World Cup because we are witnessing like these memes that are going out right now. Hey, we are learning we don't hate each other. It's our governments that are telling us that we do, right? It's our governments that tell us that we hate each other. Wow, the world is healing. There's a lot of memes right now saying the world is healing because of this World Cup, and I agree. It's beautiful, and I do believe that that is the natural state of humans, that we care about one another regardless of race, sex, color, creed, all of it. We actually do. But bear with me because I'm gonna have to say some other stuff that might be a bit hard to hear. I believe that that is the natural homeostasis of humans. That when something happens, we do collectively come together and help one another. And so I'm glad we're doing it in celebration now to show that we can come together regardless, that we can come together because we are headed into a time period. And this goes into the different prophecies. That time period is now. We're headed into a time period. Now, are we at the climax of it? No. That will be talked about, like I said, Wednesday night here at Stars of the Morning Light, the Great Crack. This, though, is all going to be precursors. This is all the pre-show, the tailgating before the main event. And so once again, I've been saying this for a long time, but I think what goes on with us is we feel like um our efforts aren't really needed. Who am I anyways? I what could I contribute to others? And it's because of so many reasons. So let's really get into this because I titled this show Hey You, right? This is part of my Hey You series. Hey You, outdated spirituality. Just stop doubting yourself. So, why do we not come together on a normal, typical basis? Why do we still live within so much selfish motives? Well, A, it hasn't been demonstrated in a long time, but it is because of what people refer to as the programming. The programming, right? And the programming, this is where I go into the outdated spiritualities or spirituality that is outdated. All of it is. As in, there are so many dogmas within all of the religions. All of the religions. I'm not secluding one out. All of the religions, all of the education, all of the hierarchy and social structures. There are so many dogmas, so many rules, so many expectations that we are still applying to a whole lot of everything. So when I say people, they see a disaster happen and it's damn near right down the road from them, and they think, "Oh man, I'd probably just get in the way," or I'm sure resources will come. I'm sure people will help. Um, they do that because of what people refer to as the programming that keeps us in a place. And that place, however, wherever that position is for you, right? Whatever that position is, it keeps you in that place. And how does it keep you in that place? Also, the expectations. That is a part of the programming. So we might say that, "Oh, I wouldn't really be able to contribute much. I really wouldn't be able to do anything. They'll be okay, right? I'll pray for them. They will be okay." We do that because we have this expectation that doing something has to be so noteworthy, so big, so this, so that, so outstanding for us to do anything. And it's part and parcel with the different dogmas. I mean, think about um, the ideology that you have to do so many good deeds to get into heaven, which is rubbish, by the way. Um, think of that. So that right there is an expectation. We're putting expectations on how to get into heaven. We then, with hierarchies in our social structures, so if I'm just a regular old Joe or maybe a housewife, whoever I am, I might think that I can't contribute anything because I'm not this like master builder. I'm not this big, strong being. I'm not this, I'm not that. So I can't really contribute anything because of how society has set up the hierarchies and how society has labeled what skills are more beneficial than others. None of this makes any sense to me, by the way, but it's how I see everybody still operating. Even those who are on a very long-term introspective uh, soul journey, which I talked about prior, and I'm talking about, and I'm bringing it up again now. We are not at a time anymore that past traumas, victimhood mentality, um, sustaining the hierarchies, sustaining the dogmas that do not apply, that are actually more damaging than beneficial, right? If it has a dogma element to it, it's damaging. We are not at a time that we can still be inside of that. And so luckily, we're at a time that all that is crumbling away. It's crumbling away, which is beautiful because it's not needed. It's holding everyone back. But I have noticed it is so very ingrained in folks, so very ingrained in folks to the point that I have many, many, many conversations, right? And I'll be talking with someone and they are unaware. They're truly unaware that they just said a backhanded racist comment, but yet they're on some, like, big spiritual journey. They're completely unaware of it, and "Oh, okay." Like, "Whoa." They're completely unaware of it. They tend to be completely unaware that they are still comparing themselves to whatever the hierarchy, whatever the expectations, whatever the worthiness is that they think they need to get to before they can actually participate. It's it these kind of conversations I'm having all the time, folks. All the time. That we are continuously judging where we are, the individual. So check right now with yourself, right? This is also we can check in with ourselves. So many individuals that I speak to, when I speak with them, it is a continuous level of self comparison and self judgment in the lens of what has been of the rules and regulations of hierarchies and dogmas. Still, And if it's a person that's not doing that, well, then it's a person that's still very much in their victim mentality of, well, blaming everyone else, or I can't do that because I'm insignificant, or whatever it may be. So I'm not trying to be rude here, but we're headed into a time that none of that, zero of that is going to serve anyone. It never really did. Meaning there will be a call to action no matter if it's a physical action, a unity of consciousness action, right? There will be a call to action for each individual. I mean, the end of 2020 or the end of June 2026 for, I don't know, let's keep going to 2028. Then let's really keep going to 2032. Then let's keep going to 2052. It is now that no matter what you got going on internally, all the bullshit will have to be dropped. Seriously, and I hate saying it that way, but it's true. The majority of the bullshit, and I am going to use that term right now, is how people talk to themselves, how they feel about themselves, how they talk about themselves, how um, how they doubt themselves, how they doubt themselves. Eh, I don't think to the level of where that is within the human psyche. I don't even think there's there's no way to even measure it because it is just outstandingly. It's like the most superior thing is the human doubt, which, by the way, many ancient people would have referred that to as the devil. That doubt, that the doubt within each individual is actually what we refer to the devil as today. So when we're called to action, how are we able to do that if we are still walking within the doubt? And the only reason we're doubting ourselves, because I'm not even bothering to talk about remember who you are, of the framework. I apologize if you can hear me or not. It just said I had a loose connection. They tend to do that. We tend to doubt ourselves to the magnitude that we do because we are still comparing who we are or who we want to be or who we would really like to think we are by all of the expectations, rules, dogmas, paradigms, red tape, hierarchy, social order, all of it that has never gotten us anywhere. Now, has it? It's really never gotten us anywhere. Not as far as unity. How did the social order of greed and competition get us unity? So we play nice with each other and all the while just feel like we are lacking and feel like we have to backstab and we have to work that ladder. What did that get us? So in the native prophecy, it did say from Crazy Horse, it does start with the worst suffering, the suffering that we have not seen in a very long time, and he is talking about the earth. He's talking about the devastation that the earth will bring, and it's because of who we are with our greed, competition, selfish behaviors. It talks about because of the selfishness of humans. But then it goes into the unity. that this kinda has to happen for us to, come back together as that tribe of human when red man and white man can come together, right? It talks about that. We are entering that. And so, yes, some some earthquakes that, we haven't seen this in a while. And yeah, possibly on the back end, a volcano, which I don't know about y'all, I've never lived through that. Um, and like I said, Wednesday, I will be talking about the Great Crack, which is that's the main event. So we're all coming together to have a really good time. We can take that same amount of energy and apply it to something else. So I was listening to someone this past week. Brilliant man, and I can't remember his name. I've watched him a few times, so I do apologize. I don't remember his name. He said he's an Indian man. I don't remember his name, and he's not one of the gurus. Um, he said, "Karma is the force of conscious action." Karma is the force of conscious action, right? And so for years on this channel, I've been trying to say, hey, karma is done in a way as to what, especially Western people, think that karma is. That does not apply anymore. Whatever you think you might be carrying from your past life, don't worry about it. Everything is going to be dropped. But listen to those words though. Karma is the force of conscious action. Hence why Stars of the Morning Light has been talking about choice for probably since I started this channel. Choice, conscious action. And this is why I'm going back to I don't think people are conscious to where they're really at within this quote unquote programming. Because, yeah, people who think they're somewhere all of a sudden in a conversation backhanded racism or victim mentality or selfishness like no other or greed. Oh, that's been springing up lately big time, hasn't it? So where is everybody really? And why would they think that why would they not even know they wouldn't notice any of that stuff because that is also a part of the programming. That's even a part of the spiritual programming that is outdated. That if don't want any of the karmic residue of past lives and or traumatic stuff of this life or any of it, guess what it is? It's choice. It's choice. And so I loved that quote. I wrote it down. Karma is the force of conscious action. Now imagine if you took that in right now. And from this day forward, went, you know what? I'm going to just walk around this earth as if I have a completely clean slate. Completely clean slate. But I'm going to say, okay, karma is the force of conscious action. So that must mean that every action I take, every action I do, it does ripple out into effects. It does change things. And it can come back to me. Everything can be a boomerang. All his energy ripples out, ripples back, like these very high tides we are experiencing right now, beloveds. Very high tides. So, if you adopt that, then you would actually become more conscious of choice every single moment. You would then become more conscious of your words every single moment. Because, beloveds, we are not our thoughts. We are not our thoughts. We are not. The mind lies. We know this. That we've known this for a very, very, very long time. The mind lies. The mind has self-preservation in a way that, whoo, the mind lies because of the programming. The mind lies because of all the subliminal messages. The mind lies for many a reasons. The mind lies. But this is why the Buddhists talk so much about becoming a master over that. You are a master over your body. You are a master over your emotions. You are a master over your mind. So if your mind is lying to you all the time, tell it to shut up. I say it all the time, folks. My mind might start lying. I'll go and I'll catch it. I'll catch my thoughts and I'll say, and I'll be like, shut up, mind. You don't know what you're talking about. That is not true. Stop lying. That is not true. Especially if it wants to tell me how I'm not worthy enough or how I'm not good enough. Especially if it wants to say something like that. Especially if I start comparing myself to others or comparing myself to where I should be on my journey. I've arrived. I'm here. This is me. I am as you are. You are as I am. And I can guarantee you, when action is needed, that's when you'll show up as two. But this message is here to prepare you for that. We do not need all this other junk. I've been saying it for, well, that I've been saying for like 4 years now. I used to say, we can't take it with us where we're headed. We can't take it with us. We can't take all that baggage. And we're fixing to enter into that of like, oh, I need to step up to bat. I need to step up to plate. I can't do that if I'm carrying all this baggage. So where are you really? Where are you really? Because that's the mind often lying to us. Oh, I'm doing this. I'm doing great. I'm doing this. I understand this. I'm doing that. I feel good. And it's because we're comparing it to how we used to be. So awesome. Awesome for the growth. Awesome for the learning. Awesome for the development. That is not what I'm talking about. We think we're somewhere because we're comparing it from where we were, and we think that we're not where we need to be, right? I need to be better. I need to do this. I need to look this way. I need to be able to contribute that way. I can't really be a full service until this. What is this comparison? You are the master right now. To be, right? Think of that beautiful quote. To be or to not to be? To be or not to be? That is the question, right? To be or not to be? That is the question. Be. Be. You're a being. That is you in action. ING is a verb. Action. Be. Being. Be is the same as now. Is the same as presence. That is who you are. It is not the baggage. It is not your mind lying to you. It is not you constantly comparing yourself to who you were before or with others or where the social structures and the hierarchies and all the dogmas tell you you need to be, or the teachers online that, man, they put a really good image out there. All of them, all of it, no matter what it is, that has absolutely nothing to do with your beingness. The ness, the energy and the essence of your being, of your action, of self. It has nothing to do with it. Be. now, presence. It is all the same thing. It is all the same thing. The human doubt is so grossly overwhelming. And so I invite everyone, I truly invite everyone to start talking and catching yourself in your mind when you're in doubt. Know that you're lying to yourself. And I don't mean in doubt as in like, oh, I think I'm going to maybe date this person, but I'm having an intuition that's not making me feel all that great. I don't know. Then listen to your intuition and don't date that person. I'm talking about when a call to action happens and you think in your mind, oh, I could probably do this. I could probably do that. I could probably help this way. Guess what usually comes in right after that? Doubt. Oh, I could probably do this. Oh, I should do that. What comes in right after that, everybody? Let's be real. Doubt. Doubt. Doubt comes in and stops everybody. Doubt comes in, stops us, a big old stop sign of doubt. And then the mind starts lying, giving all the reasons as to why that doubt is actually correct. Isn't that how all of us operate? So imagine if you had that thought, oh, I should do this. I can do that. I can do this. I call to action. Okay. Could you imagine if that doubt that stops you, if that was not there? If that was not there, if that doubt was not present, the unity that we would witness with that. I mean, think about it. How many of you actually always think about doing something nice? I know you do. I know the majority of humans are like, yeah, I should help that old lady, unload her groceries into her car. We see it, the old lady, she's a bit struggling. Oh, I should help her. No, doubt. No, don't do that. She'll probably think that you want something from her. Other people will maybe think that and come up and, give you shit. Doubt. Boom. Doubt and the lies. Doubt and lies. Instead of just, oh, I should go help her. And then do that. Everybody suffers from this. And this is the why. This is truly the why, everyone. Because we know of the programming. We know of all the details of the red tape and the dogmas and that do not resonate with us. And we also know, yeah, that is all outdated. And I do applaud anyone who has acknowledged that they are still comparing who they are to all of that rubbish, all of that 3D thinking, all of that uh, cage, all of that entrapment, right? So for anyone that does acknowledge that they're still comparing themselves to that, amen to you, because it takes the acknowledgement to then accept that you even have been doing that, to then forgive all the programming, to then get out of the cage, and don't have the expectations for yourself. You just don't listen to the doubt. Don't let doubt stop you. Oh, I should do that. I should help her. Oh, I should probably actually pay my bills today instead of on Friday. Doubt usually comes in and jacks up all sorts of good thoughts. And then, like I said, the mind comes in and starts saying, "Oh, no. No, no, no. You actually are really bad with money, so you should wait until Friday, even if you have the money now to pay your bills. Don't do that because 'cause you're really bad with money, and you never know what's gonna happen in the meantime." What? What? So, pretty much everything that we hold ourselves up to is outdated. It no longer applies. I literally mean that with everything. Pretty much almost everything that has any dogma or red tape to it, from expectations, social order, hierarchies, religions, all of it. Because we are going to be thrown into a time period that none of that stuff applies to the essence and core of what humanity really is. None of that is a part of who we really are as one being, as one connected force. None of that applies. That is all a form of self-judgment and judgment of others. And I will tell you, there is no mastery when judgment is present. And that's that doubt. That's that doubt. That doubt that comes in and stops and says, "No, you can't do that." Or, "No, that person's actually against you." Or, "No, you're not gonna get that raise if you ask for it." Or, "No, don't." It's doubt. It's a form of judgment, and it's the worst of all. That's why, like I said, most ancient, um, stories and texts and whatnot, the equivalent of the human doubt would be the reference of the devil. Doubt and devil are the same energy. Same energy. It's the devil within. A lot of the old philosophers would talk about this. The devil within. That is doubt. So, karma is a force of conscious action, choice, choice, choice. So, if you are very much keen to needing to hold on to the word of karma, the word, um, then maybe take that definition. Karma is the force of conscious action, cause and effect. Take action, make a choice. Don't just make a choice, live that choice. Be that choice. Be now presence. I very much, very much would love for folks to maybe mold this over in their mind as to lay down the expectations on what you think a spiritual being is. What a spiritual being is, what they look like, how they talk, all of that. I invite everyone to lay that down as to what that apparently looks like, because everybody's got some kind of image and definition inside their mind. And then when they can't live up to that, right? When us humans can't live up to that ideal in their mind, guess what? Guess what lives within them? Doubt. That's what keeps doubt there. I'm not that superior being, Buddha sitting on the mountaintop. I'm not this, I'm not that. And it's not just Buddha. I mean, we have the most interesting ideas as to what a master or superior being, spiritual being. And when I say supreme or superior, I mean not living in third dimensional living experience. Not living in fifth dimensional living experience, right? Um, we have an idea what that supposedly looks like. And I will share with all of you. Um, I the image is probably false. The image is probably false. I mean, there's tons of documentation to back that up, for one thing, with any ancient text, but also, um, it's false. It's the idea. It's what caused the separation. It's the image of the separation that has kept us in doubt. I guess I should repeat that. Whatever you think that idea, that image, that concept of what a master looks like and talks like and feels like and presents themselves like, whatever you think that is an illusion, right? That's an illusion, is a part of the concept in the programming that keeps us within the doubt because they know, everything knows that our minds know that we are going to hold ourselves up to that image. Well, if we're not that, then we're less than. Oh, there's the doubt. And if I'm less than, I might as well not. So therefore, no action. I mean, it's what everyone goes through. No one's alone in this. No one's alone in any of this. And that's very much what I'm trying to say. No one's alone in any of this. But it's coming to the time that if we don't trust ourselves and lay down the doubt and the judgments and the expectations and all the illusions, it's going to be even more difficult. And in a lot of ways, life, what we will witness, what we will experience here on out, is just going to have you dropping that stuff all over the place because you literally can't bring it with you. So I suggest instead of maybe, the energy is forcing you to drop things because that's uncomfortable. Maybe just start dropping them by choice. By choice. So that's what this is all about. The outdated spiritualities that keep us within the expectations and the illusions of something that is not accurate, that then keeps us in the trap of self doubt. When unity and harmony and oneness is actually the most authentic to humanity than anything, than any separation, right? Than any separation. So thank you, Miss Chloe, for coming, and Miss Shelley for coming. Sorry, folks, I'm just looking at the chat a bit. So that's the message. Wednesday, I will be here to talk about the Great Crack. That's Wednesday, June 24th, I believe. And like I said, the end of this month, leading into the next month, I do believe we are going to experience things together. Because if something happens to my fellow, then it also happens to me. I am as you are as I am. And so I imagine all the empaths just now went, yeah, that's kind of the problem, Courtney. I feel everything. I experience everything that happens everywhere. How do you handle it? You do become that master. You master your emotions. You master your mind. You master your physical. You master these things. You master your spiritual. And in order to do that, we have to lay down all this stuff to be. Oh, thanks, Shelley. To be. So, I enjoy you guys so thoroughly, and I am so enjoying what's going on in the US right now. I wish I could bop around to each city, state that everybody's in and just have a good time with them. So, I enjoy watching them. I wish I could do that for the good times and the bad. I am so, I am immensely in love with with humanity. When I was young, I saw it as nothing but disappointment of humanity, and now that I am wiser and older, and I know how we are all connected. I am as you are as I am. I cherish every being, and it's just been so fun to watch. So fun to watch. So I do love you all. Have a wonderful week ahead. Be here Wednesday night as I will talk about the great crack. And beloveds, none of this is to scare. None of this is to scare. This is hopefully to inspire because I believe in you. I believe in you. Actually, I'm going to end on that. And because I was going to say, it and then I ended up saying something else. We are not our thoughts. I know there's that catchphrase, that cliche, that thoughts become things. I'm not a big fan of that cliche because we're not necessarily our thoughts. We are our beliefs. And our thoughts, whatever we think about a lot, becomes our belief. So we experience our beliefs. If this operating system worked that all the thoughts that we have would just come to us or be thrown out there in the universe, holy hell, we'd be in a whole lot worse of a situation, right? I'm sure everybody can agree with me with that. We are not our thoughts, and our thoughts do not become things until they become beliefs. And that can happen in a short time frame. If we if we continuously think, "Oh, man, I'm not gonna be able to pay my cable bill," or whatever it is, my internet bill, let's say that. Oh, and we continuously, like, every day, we're looking at the numbers, we're looking at our account, we're looking at this, we're factoring in groceries, and we're constantly going, "I'm not gonna be able to pay my internet bill." That actually becomes a belief. You are now believing you're not gonna pay it. And this is why the Christ consciousness, that mastermind, right? His consciousness. This is why he spoke so much about not letting things be masters over you. And a lot of people want to talk about in reference to the money, right? When he would say, money is the root of all evil, whatever is a master over you, da 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 da, right? That's how the quote starts. And but people don't take in context that most people take that as the rich, the greedy, those that have the money, yeah, that they're evil, that they're rooted in, they have money that's driving them. They have money that's their focus. The greedy have money so that therefore they are evil, right? That's how everybody plays that out. What about all those people who think about money all the time because they ain't got none? That's still money's being a master over them. That is what they believe in. That is what they believe in. They believe they do not have money, and it is still a master. This is why we're talking about you being a master over yourself. So thoughts don't just become things. That's that's kind of an irritating cliche. It's if you think about it enough that it becomes a belief within you. And unfortunately, all the programming, all the concepts and like I said, social hierarchies, business hierarchies, all the dogmas, all the whatnot, all the red tape has our brains wired to think of the worst. to think of the worst. Doubt, bam, it's right there all the time. Bam, judgment, doubt, bam, lies. We're just lying to ourselves all the time. It's not anybody else's fault. I'm sorry, but it's not. I mean, I'm done and over any giving the programming the blame. We are all grown here. And it is we cannot blame the government, we cannot blame the programming, we cannot blame our parents, we cannot blame our past lives, we cannot blame our fellow man, we cannot blame our neighborhood, we cannot blame our position at work, we cannot blame no work, we cannot blame anything. When I say it's all gotta be laid down, it's gotta be laid down because that is victim mentality. Did it happen? Was it present? Is it still a bit present? Yes. That don't mean that you can't be a master over that. That is victim mentality if we're thinking that way. And that I am tired of hearing, by the way. I mean, that's what I mean when I hear people talk about victim mentality nonstop. Mm, mm. It comes out in everybody's mouth constantly. Constantly. It's just victim mentality. It's a constant. And then it's usually, to tell you the truth, it's usually based out of someone is feeling any kind of fear, survival, rejection, or lack. And they're tossing the blame somewhere out there, as if they don't have a choice in the matter. Mastery, mastery presence, to be, now, presence. So we do not, our thoughts do not necessarily just become things. What we believe is what we experience. What we believe becomes things. So what do you believe? What do you believe about yourself? Because I believe in you. As I was saying, I believe in you. I believe in each human. I do. I believe in me. I believe in the human race. I believe in humanity. I believe. And this is when we get all the scriptures of it only takes a mustard seed. What do we believe? Because that is the reality we're going to live. That's the world we're going to live. And be honest with yourself. Be honest. Because if we're not honest with ourselves and all these backhanded comments come out, well then we're actually receiving, right? We're taking on not what we want to believe. And that's the saddest of all this. That's the saddest of all this. That's why Christ would talk about a mustard seed all the time, because do you know all those the disciples? It wasn't until after he was crucified, all the disciples that he worked with and all the people that he worked with, he actually had them going out and doing the healings when they traveled through the villages. They were the ones doing the healings, by the way, for the majority of the time, unless he felt so compelled to, yes, perform a miracle. And that's usually because the environment was receptive to what was happening there. So, anyways, they, though, oftentimes did not believe. They did not believe in themselves. They wanted to believe. There's a very, very big difference. Please, beloveds, hear this. And there's a very big difference between wanting to believe in oneself and believing in oneself. Very big difference. And in that wanting to believe is when the doubt can infiltrate every single time. Every single time. So check where you're at. And this is not in self judgment, it's in self review. It's in where am I really? And if a call to action were to happen, no matter what it is, it might be just prayer. It might be to just send good energy. Whatever it may be, would I stand up or would I fall back based on what I believe? Oh, Chloe just said, how do we switch from wanting to actually believing? Choice. Hmm. Take that word in. I love you guys. I will talk to you later. Good question, Chloe. I love you all. Have a great week. And yes, everything comes down to choice. I love you all. Bye, you guys. Cheers.